Have you ever wondered why one small car became one of the most recognizable automobiles ever built? It wasn't the fastest, it wasn't the most luxurious, and it certainly wasn't the most powerful. Yet more than 21 million people chose this little machine. For decades, it carried families, crossed continents, appeared in countless movies, and became a symbol recognized almost everywhere in the world. Today, we know it as the Volkswagen Beetle. But its story is far more surprising than most people realize. Behind its friendly shape lies a history that changed the automotive industry forever. Long before millions of Beetles filled roads around the world, Germany was a very different place. In the early 1930s, owning a car was something only wealthy families could afford. Most people traveled by bicycle, train, or simply walked. Cars were expensive, complicated, and far beyond the reach of ordinary workers. Then came an ambitious idea: build a reliable car that every family could afford. It sounded almost impossible. The vehicle had to carry 4 people, use very little fuel, survive rough roads, and remain cheap to maintain. Many engineers believed it couldn't be done. One man disagreed. His name was Ferdinand Porsche. Already respected for his engineering talent, Porsche accepted the challenge and began designing what would eventually become the people's car. Instead of copying existing automobiles, he started almost from scratch. One of his smartest decisions was placing the engine in the rear. The Beetle used an air-cooled boxer engine, eliminating the need for a radiator and many complex components that often failed. This made the car lighter, simpler, and incredibly reliable. Its rounded body wasn't created only for appearance. The smooth shape improved aerodynamics and helped reduce fuel consumption. Inside, everything focused on practicality. There were no unnecessary luxury features. Every part served a purpose. The Beetle wasn't built to impress rich buyers. It was built to last. As testing began, engineers quickly realized they had created something special. The little car handled rough roads surprisingly well. It used very little fuel. It started reliably in cold weather. Most importantly, it simply refused to break. Production was preparing to begin. Factories were ready. Workers had been trained. Everything seemed perfect. But history was about to take a completely unexpected turn. Just as the Beetle was ready to become the people's car, the Second World War began. When World War II began, everything changed. Instead of producing affordable family cars, the factory switched to military vehicles based on the Beetle's simple design. The original dream of creating a car for ordinary people was suddenly put on hold. When the war finally ended, the Volkswagen factory was badly damaged. Production had almost completely stopped. Many experts believed the Beetle's story was over before it had truly begun. Some even called the design outdated and predicted nobody would ever buy such a strange-looking car. But one man saw something different. British Army officer Major Ivan Hurst believed the factory could still be saved. Instead of shutting it down, he helped restart production. Slowly, workers repaired damaged machines and assembled new cars. At first, only a few Beetles left the factory, then dozens, then hundreds. Before long, thousands were rolling off the production line once again. During the 1950s, Volkswagen began exporting the Beetle around the world. Its biggest challenge came when it arrived in the United States. American roads were filled with enormous cars powered by massive V8 engines. Compared to them, the Beetle looked tiny. Many people laughed when they first saw it, but they quickly discovered something that mattered far more than size. The Beetle was reliable. It was inexpensive. It was easy to repair, and it kept running year after year. That reputation helped transform it into one of the best-selling cars in history. Then Hollywood made it even more famous. Disney introduced the world to Herbie, the lovable white Beetle that seemed to have a personality of its own. The movies became a worldwide success, making the Beetle even more recognizable to millions of people. By the 1960s and 1970s, the Beetle had become much more than transportation. It became part of everyday life. Families used it for vacations. Students drove it to college. Young couples bought it as their very first car. It wasn't luxurious. It wasn't powerful. But people trusted it. When production of the original Beetle finally ended in 2003, more than 21.5 million had been built. At the time, it was one of the most successful automobile designs ever created. Even today, the Beetle remains one of the most recognizable cars in history. Collectors continue restoring them, car enthusiasts proudly drive them, and millions of people still smile the moment they see its unmistakable shape. More than 80 years after Ferdinand Porsche first imagined a simple family car, the Volkswagen Beetle continues to prove one important lesson. Changing the world doesn't always require building the fastest or the most expensive machine. Sometimes, all it takes is building a car that everyone remembers.